Hey guys, Steve Benellic here from BrisbaneGuitarTuition.com.au. Welcome to another weekly tip. Last week we spoke about how you can gain more pick control by grounding your right hand on unused parts of your guitar. For example, on the bridge, on the bottom of your guitar, or on any string that isn't being used at that time. This week I'd like to teach you guys the importance of dynamics within a song and some simple little techniques we can use to help create them. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're talking about creating dynamics. Now there's a few simple ways that we can do this, and its main purpose is to make sure that our song maintains interest all the way through, so that the listener doesn't get bored and give up on it. So a couple of things that we can do is automate the volume, so up and down, create accents, we can use build-ups, and then another thing we can do in the song structure is try and keep it short and sweet, make sure our hooks stand out nicely. We can make maybe the verses a bit softer so that our choruses explode out. Another thing we can do is change from, like say if our verses were like a minor sort of feel, we could maybe go to a major feeling on the chorus, which is going to be uplifting. So just a couple of little things like that. I'm now going to show you a couple of examples too. So this is a chord progression without any dynamics to it. Okay, so you see that the strumming's all the same, there's no rise and fall, and there's just no difference within the chord changes or anything. So now I'm going to show you a couple of ways we can create some dynamics. Have a listen to it first. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the techniques we used there. We did some holds, which can create some nice sort of emotion. We did a build-up. Great way to sort of build up and let that chorus explode out. Did a bit of muting like I just did then with my hand here to create a bit more dynamic. It's like more of a percussive kind of strum. Another thing we can do that you might have seen is I sort of swept across the strings with the chord. So the key to this is just to make sure that you use all these techniques together so that you don't overdo it, because you still want it to flow nicely and just accent nicely where it needs to be. Let's have a look at some different accents. So the hold was one. Another one that you heard was when we change chords, we can do this kind of accent. Another one is like a fast sort of strum like this. And then you can do that with the build as well, so put them together so you could go Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can create some dynamics. Another way is to actually pluck the strings as well, and I quite like to use this one too, maybe at the start of the song or in the verses. So you could go, and also adding on fingers to the notes. Okay guys, so have a muck around with this. Learn a few different dynamic techniques first and then try apply them to your wrist. I hope this tip's been helpful and stay tuned for next week's tip. Cheers, take care.